What's going on YouTube? This is going to be the first 5-inch freestyle video with a stick cam. Just built the Armattan, I'm not sure how to say that, the Beaver. I got the 03 on there. I took it off my my Quad Mula gin build. And they do have the cam saver mounts on there that come with it, but I ended up going with TPU just because it gets the camera a little farther forward. You can use one bolt on the aluminum mounts they give you to get it kind of as far forward as possible, and that gets the frame out of view and most of the prop. This is kind of right in the middle. You gets most of the frame out of the view, almost all of it, but you still get some prop in view. And then I got a little 3D print for the antenna. We got the Axis Flying AE2207. I think it's 1960 kV motors on there. I think these are HQ prop. 5-inch props with I think the pitch is like 4 or something like that, and then the China Hobby Line battery on there. Using the Radiomaster Zorro today. This thing's running ELRS. I think I have a 95% output limit on the motors right now, but I may take that off later. I scaled them down to like 1850 or something like that. All right. Let's give me my first go at excuse my toes there. Let's give me my first go at a 5-inch freestyle. So far, I've flown a couple packs. I notice a lot more drift and fling, I guess you could say. But everything feels pretty good. The power is there, a lot more than with the 2.5-inch. So that's good. All right. Should get camera view here. Beautiful weather right now. Let's see if we can get that in frame a little better. All right, here we go. The backwards travel when you throw the quad like that is crazy. It's nothing like 2.5-inch in that regard. Let's see if we can get a little inverted yaw spin here. Pretty good. It does pull down pretty heavily on the inverted yaw spin, which I don't think happens in the case of the 2.5-inch. But I love being able to just chuck it and float. That's something that I did not have at all with the 2.5-inch. Power loops are a lot more fun, I have to say. Let's get a little yaw spin here. Sunset's looking great. All right, let's see about a Matty flip real quick. This is something that I tend to struggle with, but that one was pretty good. All right, what else? Let's do a nice Rubik's Cube there. I love being able to catch a fall like that. I feel like that's not something that you get on a smaller quad. Right now I'm not running an action camera, so maybe I'll wait to take the motor output limit off until I run something. Although I think for freestyle I might keep it as is and then just run an action camera if I want to get props out of view or do something a little more cinematic. But we'll see. I wish there were a good spot to get a trippy spin, but I don't see one here. That's something I gotta work on. Maybe I'll do a video of learning those. Really liking those sideways power loops. Not sure what that's called. The other thing that makes a lot more sense on 5-inch is those what are those called when you pitch forward and punch the throttle? Those make a lot of sense to me on 5-inch. I think they look pretty good. That's more of a spang style move, I guess. Ooh, that was not a great power loop. But we made it. I'm hoping my stick cam is in view. I can't see right now because I got the goggles on. Maybe if I crouch forward, it'll get in better view. Split S, that's another thing that feels really good with 5-inch that I did not experience on 2.5-inch. Although the quad mule Gins, what I have, it does fly great for 2.5-inch, I gotta say. It's just not the same feeling as like punching throttle like that and just getting that much air time. There's no tune on this right now. This is on stock Betaflight PIDs. And I gotta say, it flies great. Probably because I think Betaflight is designed around a 5-inch, if I'm not mistaken. So that makes a lot of sense. But it feels really locked in. There's a little bit of prop wash, but it's just like a little shutter. It doesn't get too wishy-washy. It stays pretty locked in. It's just a quick shutter as you, just like that. Pretty good. We're getting towards the end of this battery here. All right, let's get a couple more lofty throws in there. Those feel great, whatever that is called. Just a massive split S. Ooh, that was fun. Excuse me. All right, what else? I think we're coming to the end of this pack here. Final thoughts. Flies great. I do notice the motors get just a tad bit warm, and that's not something I experienced at all on the 2.5-inch quad. Those motors were always cold, no matter what. Whereas with this, the motors will either be a little warm, or I wouldn't say hot, honestly. Like it's easy to touch them, but they definitely get a little warm. All right, there we go. Nice little flip disarm there. Sorry for my coughing. She survived. I haven't noticed a huge difference in range with the ELRS mounted like this. I'm not sure if that's technically a good way to mount it or not, but I went with the Diversity, the Radiomaster RP3. That seems to be working out so far. So no complaints. We'll check back in. Maybe I'll do a video on learning the trippy spin. Although I've done a couple on the simulator, but I feel like I need to get those down a little bit better. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.
All right, just a couple things I missed in the video there. This is the cam saver mount that they give you right here. That mounts right there, where the standoff attaches. Here's the standoff right there. I had to remove that to fit it and get the camera as far forward as I wanted it. With these, usually you'll get a little frame in view if you want to use both bolts and mount them correctly, as far as I can tell. And then the O3 mounting, there is no screw. Quad Mule does this thing where they pass screws through the plate into the O3 and they turn the O3 upside down. In this case, they give you a sticky pad, and then there's space for a zip tie. There's some wider holes there, so that's how I did mount that. Vibration dampening in the frame is built in. There's actually a piece of foam sandwiched in there between the arms and the main plate, I think it is. Yeah, you can see it right there. And then the stack I went with is the Axis Flying Argus F7 Pro. Came with some heat sinks that I was going to use, but those it fit pretty tight in there, and I was a little worried with the battery straps and everything rubbing, and I would have had to get some different length stack screws, and would have not been able to run my motor wires around the stack screws, so I just went with the lighter and cleaner approach. But it is possible to fit this in here if your stack space is like 25 millimeters or above, I think. And then the warranty on this frame applies to every part. You just send them a picture and they send you a new one, I believe. but I'm sure you have to pay for shipping. The weight of the frame I think is like 115, 120 grams by itself, and then this build itself is in the 600 range, somewhere in there. And then the battery pad they give you I really like. It's a super sticky battery pad. I'm not sure if you can clean these off once they get stuff all over them, but at first it was incredibly sticky. It's still pretty sticky now. So yeah, thanks again for watching.